everybody, my name is Angelina. I wanted to come on here today to kind of talk about the confirmations that I've been receiving lately, and also to kind of go a little bit more in depth about some of the videos that we have been talking about over the last few days. So before I jump into that, if you are not a part of this YouTube channel yet, please make sure you like and subscribe, pressing on that little bell that will notify you anytime I post a new video or go live. If you're ever interested in a more in-depth reading, you can either leave me a comment or check out my Facebook page, Interconnections, where I do have like pricing and things like that. Okay, everyone, so we're gonna just jump in. So yesterday, we were talking about who are you? Who are you really when you take away all the distractions and expectations of your society or community? And it was really interesting because I asked my guides kind of like to give me a sign or show me a sign about why they've been talking so much about change. And then I found out that we are actually in the new moon cycle. So the new moon cycle is really all about setting the new intentions of who you really want to be, to set yourself up in alignment with who you are, what you want, and the life that you want to live. So it's really all about bringing that together to set those intentions and kind of get the ball rolling. So right now is the best time of the month for you to be doing that, for you to really take time to introspectively decide what you want out of this life. And really, it doesn't have to be small things, right? A lot of people just go, well, I'm going to start kind of small and just kind of set the intention that I'm going to make an extra $300. No, set the intention big. I want to start my multi-million-dollar company, right? Like I want to start that. That is my intention. And the universe is going to start bringing that in for you. Maybe in small ways, maybe in big ways. You never know unless you actually set the intention and get started on that goal. All right, so what is it that you want or need or feel is right? What is in alignment with what you want out of life? Now is the time for you to be making that decision. Step out of those limitations, step out of those distractions, step out of your comfort zone, and really just go for it. Just, see what happens. So let's break this down in a spiritual context. So what does this mean? So if you haven't had a chance yet to check out my video, Falling Like a Tree, this is a great time for you to pause this video and jump over to that video and just kind of understand that we are adaptable and flexible. And we're gonna kind of jump into like grounding for a second. So my guides really wanted to give this message, and I want to like caveat it for all of you who are listening. If you know a lot about grounding, that's great. But take a moment to open yourself up to this message. See if it resonates with you, okay? Because it's gonna be a little wonky. So, believe it or not, we can ground ourselves in fear. So we can trick ourselves basically into believing that when we are grounding ourselves into the earth, into our root chakra, what we're actually doing is we're reinforcing and grounding ourselves in the limitations, in the lack mindset, and in the fear mindset. So we're actually taking our root chakra and we're balancing it. So we are grounding ourselves. We are doing the work of grounding, but we're solidifying it in the wrong, the incorrect or the harmful thinking that we have begun to reinforce within ourselves. So what they're asking for you to do is when you are doing your grounding to just take a second to think. What are you thinking about when you're grounding? What are you reinforcing in your grounding? What do you need to let go of? What fears, what limitations do you need to let go of as you're doing that exercise for yourself? Another hard truth that comes with grounding is that when we are grounding ourselves so that we can remain stable and flexible, which seems like a contradiction, but it's really not. So when we are grounding ourselves, what we're doing is we're actually saying, in order for me to set the intention and be stable, I also have to be realistic. So I have to play it safe so that I can get the thing that I want or get the thing that I feel like I need. So here's an example. I am going to set the intention that I'm going to make $300. In my mind, whether it's conscious or subconscious, I feel like $300 is too much money. It's a lot of money and I don't really need 300. I really need 50. So we say to ourselves, okay, so we are grounded, we are stable. So that's why we don't need more than 50 because we're stable in our income. It would be cool to have more. And it's not realistic for me to ask for that much. So what happens is that we actually ground ourselves in our limitations. We ground ourselves in reality, and then we don't move forward. We don't actually end up getting anything. We don't get the $50 and we don't get the $300 because we've rooted ourselves into the idea that it's not going to happen really anyway, right? So it's inevitable that change is going to occur. Eventually, if you continue in that mindset, the universe is going to keep taking because you're in a state of resistance and lack. So you don't need anything, right? So the universe is going to start throwing you weird curveballs. And that's a change. Change is inevitable. Whether it's good change or bad change, that's completely up to you, right? So we know from that video I just talked about that change is an inevitable occurrence. We can't stop change. We can't stop death and we can't stop change. Those things are going to happen no matter what we do. So the best thing that you can do is to take each moment for what it is, right? Accept change for what it is and allow yourself to be rooted but also flexible. So like the tree whose roots go down deep into the earth, but also sways in the wind, right? And also loses its leaves and gains leaves as the seasons change. That's kind of what they're asking for us to do, to be flexible as the wind moves us, but also stable in our values, in our wants, in who we are. And that's why they're asking, who are you? Who are you without all this other stuff? Because when you know who you are and you set your values, that is how you set your roots down into the earth. The deeper your values, the more strongly you hold to them, the deeper your leaves go down, right? And that's kind of what they were talking about with that video as well, is it's like, if you don't hold true to your values and you don't hold true to who you are, you're more likely to just topple over because your roots aren't deep. And sometimes toppling over needs to happen because sometimes the person you've created and the values that have become misaligned with who you are going to knock you over. They are going to make you completely alter your life because the choices that you've made are not in alignment with who you are. It's an inevitable thing, right? Change will occur. So what do we do? You guys, I don't like to just come up here and be like, these are problems and we're doing this wrong as humanity. I like to come up here and be like, yes, this is a problem and this is something that we need to address. And there are solutions that my guides actually gave me. So here's the thing. Here are the advantages to the new moon energy. So you get to set your intentions. You get to decide what it is that you want. You can do this really at any time of the month, you guys. It's just, this is the time of the month where people really sit down and the energies of the new moon are really going in the same direction. So it's like, if you think about it like a wave. So like if a wave is coming on the beach and you're pushing against the wave, it's hard. There's a lot of friction. So what this is asking is for you to go with the wave. Go with the wave of energy to set your intentions. So this is a great time to do that. If you're following the videos and you have sat down and really tried to figure out what your values are and figure out who you want to be, setting the intentions are going to be a little bit easier for you. So set your intentions, show immense gratitude to the universe for giving you the opportunity to see and feel what it is that you might want to change about yourself, to what you want to change in your life. Allow for the universe to continue to give you that feedback. Again, when we shut off the need for feedback, we shut off the need for growth. And so when things do change, we don't really know what to do. And we kind of just go into stagnation mode. And so we become afraid of the change or we fight the change with every bit of our being and we just allow ourselves to be unhappy in the life that we have. So really bring that awareness, really bring that gratitude. And here's another one. Here's a tough one. Ask the people around you for feedback. Hey, what do you think I'm doing wrong? What do you think is my weakness? What do you think I need to be working on? How successful am I at communicating with you? Asking for these feedbacks and being open to what they say, right? Because sometimes people are just going to be mean hearted and just tell you things that really are not very nice. And that happens. And so, take it for what it is. And also be open to it. Maybe it is something that you really should be bringing your attention to so that you can become better. Because that's ultimately what this is. So if we know that change is inevitable, then we can know that we can handle it and we can become better because of the change, almost despite the change, right? So really be welcoming to that feedback, really be open to the support because it is supportive to get feedback, to know that you're not perfect. It is support because if people just tell you, oh, everything's great, oh, you're doing fine, oh, everything's just wonderful, that doesn't help you get better. It doesn't help you grow. It helps you stay in that ungrounded, fear based limitation mindset. It doesn't help. So, so be open to the feedback coming in, but also be open to giving feedback back to the person. Like, be okay that maybe you're going to give feedback that might hurt their feelings, right? And also, you owe it to them to be honest. You owe it to them to be open to giving them a chance to grow and become better. As hard as it may sound, it does a world of good for people to know that they can trust the people around them to support them in their growth. So, once you have decided who you want to be, you've decided what your values are, you've decided the direction that you want to take in your life, you've set the intention, which means you've started that grounding system, and then you become open to giving and receiving that feedback so that you can really take in what's working and what isn't. Then you're going to want to fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride. You are going to start seeing change. You are going to start building the life that you want. You're going to maybe see people fall away from your path because they aren't going to be in alignment with you. And it might feel kind of bad. It might feel like you're losing friends or you're losing family or maybe even losing yourself. Keep in mind, though, that that was part of the intention. Part of the intention of becoming who you really are is letting go of the you that doesn't work anymore. Letting go of the people that don't work anymore. Not because you don't like them, but because it's not in alignment anymore. And the alignment place is where you really want to be. The alignment place is when the change that comes in is the change that you want instead of just the passive, inevitable change that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And it brings you, yes, out of your comfort zone, but it brings you into a place where being out of your comfort zone is totally awesome and cool and exciting. All right, everyone, I hope that all of that makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, please make sure that you leave me questions in the comments, and I do try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. If you'd like a more in-depth reading, please check out my Facebook page, Inner Connections, all one word, or you can type at the @ symbol, mediumship and stuff, and you can private message me or post or whatever you need to do in order to get my attention. I do try to be receptive to all that stuff. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe to my channel, hitting the little bell so it'll notify you whenever I come on here. And I just want to say that I appreciate you all so much for supporting my channel, for watching my videos, for being active participants on the page, asking questions as you have them. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I wish you all the best day ever, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.